Road crashes now a common sight along major roads across the country, throwing many families into mourning. In several cases, we see lives being lost, and for those who are lucky, they're rendered disabled. Figures from the FRSC files indicate that more than 14,000 lives were lost between 2019 and 2021. It is indeed a national concern, and reducing this figure is an assignment before every one of us. So Panorama today focuses on the measures needed to reduce road crashes in the nation's busy roads. And from the sporting world, Super Eagles AFCON journey ends abruptly after 1-0 to Tunisia. Welcome. Thank you for joining us. This is Panorama. I'm Ruth Aguilera. Let's begin from Burkina Faso, where we hear reports saying a nationwide curfew has been imposed by the military juntas in the country. As at the time of this report, the president of Burkina Faso, Marc Christian Kabore, has been detained following heavy gunfire around his residence on Sunday night in the capital of Ouagadougou. Reports say shots were heard late Sunday near Kabore's home after soldiers staged mutinies at the several barracks to demand the sacking of the country's military top brass and more resources for the battle against extremist groups. Residents also reported they saw a helicopter above the president's home, but the government quickly denied rumors of a coup d'etat. In a swift reaction, the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, has warned the military in Burkina Faso against any attempt to oust the democratically elected government amid reports of a possible coup. In a statement, ECOWAS says it is in solidarity with the government of President Marc Christian Kabore and urges the military to respect it as democratic authority. ECOWAS also advises the government to engage in dialogue with soldiers reported to have taken over military barracks across the country in what has been described as an act of mutiny. The sub-region bloc calls for calm and express solidarity with President Marc Christian Kabore, the government and people of Burkina Faso. Back home for us, Governor Bello Mohammed of Zamfara State has formally briefed President Muhammadu Buhari of the ongoing military action against criminal gangs in his state, describing it as a massive, fulfilling and reassuring. State House correspondent Adamu Sambo will tell us more.
During his last visit to the State House on the 17th of this month, Governor Bello Muhammad Matawali told Nigerians that President Muhammadu Buhari had given marching orders to the nation's armed forces to deal decisively with all the criminal gangs threatening lives and property in the state. And 6 days after, the governor is here to give the president a feedback on the military action, which he said is yielding the desired result.
I briefed him on what happened yesterday. It was the first time for this operation in that forest. Gando Forest is where all those criminals dispatched from other places, like in Sokoto, Katsina, are hiding. Since the happenings of this banditry, that Gando Forest was never been visited. But alhamdulillah, with the security operation of yesterday, the day before yesterday and yesterday, they have recorded a lot of successes. So I come to thank Mr. President for that. I assure you, within limited time, Zamfara State will be free of that banditry activities, inshallah.
So as a result of these operations, some people might be suffering untold hardship. What will you be telling them?
Any support needed by the community, the government is there for them, and we are going to provide some relief for most of them. And alhamdulillah, as you see yesterday, many cows were recovered from this bandit, and the security agencies are moving those cows to the headquarters so that those who own the cows should come and identify their own animals and will be handed over to them.
Governor Bello Matawali also briefed the president on his engagement with the president of Niger, Mohamed Bazoum. The governor was in Niamey at the instance of the Nigerian leader to deliver a special message to his Nigerian counterpart on security issues. Details on his engagement with President Bazoum the second time in 1 month were, however, not disclosed. From the State House, Adamu Sambo, NTA News.
The rise in cases of road traffic crashes in the country has been said to be due to different reasons, despite efforts by the government and road management agencies in ensuring zero road crashes in the country. In this report, Oyemi Ajayi talks to motorists on how best can road crashes be curbed in the country.
Cases of road crashes in the country have continued to be a major source of concern, not just to the road management agencies alone, but even to the people as well. The reoccurring phenomenon leaves little to be desired, despite efforts, measures, directives and policies put in place to reduce the menace. Between 2019 and 2021, the Federal Road Safety Corps revealed that a total of 14,773 people died from road crashes, a figure many describe as alarming.
We have bad roads, and so accident is bound to occur. They're over speeding, and others might be drunk while driving.
Most of the people that are driving, they don't even learn. They don't even go to driving school.
Another contributing factor experts adduce to the increase in road crashes is the presence of spots often termed as danger zones, which motorists believe a remedy in this direction would avert more fatalities.
If you have not passed through one road, you could make a mistake that will involve an accident.
Those contractors should be mobilized to site and expand the road. You understand? And the double lane, even the triple lane will be able to help.
The Federal Road Safety Corps, on its part, is not relenting on its mandate as more stiffer measures are being meted out on speed limit defaulters, one of the major reasons for crashes.
And most of these crashes we mentioned now involves more of private vehicles. I want to assure you that on the issue of this speed, we are taking it very seriously. And there are specific directives that the issue of speed limiting devices will not be compromised. And we have given very strict directives to the patrol teams. All commercial vehicles must fully have the speed limiting device installed in the vehicles.
Observers are of the opinion that road safety shouldn't be left to road management agencies alone. They emphasize the responsibility of safer roads lie within everyone's power, especially with a stern advice that due precautionary measures must be adhered to in order to herald sanity on highways. So, the simple message is, do your part. Oyemi Ajayi, NTA News.
Thank you very much, Oyemi. So to talk more on measures to reduce road crashes, we have in the studio Honey Oguntayo, Deputy Corps Commander, Head National Traffic Road, Abuja. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you.
All right. It seems road crashes is inevitable, but it can be curbed. But what can you tell us regarding that from the report we've just seen?
Okay, let me start by saying thank you to NTA, other stakeholders, our sister agencies for making us to succeed in the past years. Now, talking about road traffic crashes, it's a big day for us at the FRSC, and we are not going to relent until everybody come to terms with the fact that we want to see a Nigeria without road traffic crashes. And if we are going to be having any at all, we want to see whereby it will not result in any death. And we are working towards that.
Yes, because a lot of times we get to see when the accident is so fatal, lives are lost, and for the FRSC, we know the campaign has been ongoing, but what are the challenges, being faced as regard your interaction with motorists?
People.
Yes.
Okay, let me start by saying in comparative analysis, talking about 2020 and year 2021, we have 9% reduction in road traffic crashes. We have 26% reduction in people that were killed. And we also have 9% reduction in people that were injured. I think it's commendable. Though that's not where we are going, we are still working, around the clock, just like the commercial have just said. We are working around the clock to see that, we talk to everybody that needed to be talked to. We are, collaborating with sister agencies, stakeholders. Sensitization, advocacy visits. We are going to everywhere to talk to people. Public enlightenment has been heightened to see that people understand the need to install the speed limiter. Because according to research, we have seen that most of these crashes occur because of overspeeding.
Yes.
And we are talking to people about this. Everybody needs to install, mostly commercial vehicles, they need to install the speed limiter.
And from what the court marshal said, most of the accidents is from private vehicles. Now, if you're installing the speed limit devices on commercial vehicles, what about private motorists?
Yes,
what's going to happen?
We shall get
Is
there.
it going to be imposed?
You know what we are saying now is that all commercial vehicles should have it, because talking about it or thinking about it, you know, a commercial vehicle can carry as many as 18 passengers.
Okay.
Probably a private vehicle will carry at least 2 people, 3 people, or 4 people. But we are looking at whereby a commercial vehicle will carry 18 passengers, 20 passengers, you know, more than that. And that's where we have most people getting killed. And we don't want this. We don't want people to be killed on the road. We want a Nigeria by you leave your home, then you go back home safely. That's what we are working towards.
You know,
it will still come to the private vehicles, but now we're talking about the commercial vehicles.
Okay, but it's one thing to make this sensitization very pronounced in communities and all of that, but it's another thing for people to abide by the rules and regulations. Is there another strategy? I know you've exhausted every other option, but there should be a way out, because people will still ply the roads, whether we like it or not.
Yes, thank you. That's very important. That's why FRS is aligning with the recommendation from the WHO.
Okay.
And talking about, you know, focusing on 5 behavioral aspects of road users. 1, we are talking about speeding. It's people that are applying the road, the motorists that are overspeeding. We are talking about the use of safety helmet. It's people that will go on the road that will not put on their helmet. We are talking about seat belt, child restraint, and other things like that. So we are really, you know, talking to people. We want them to think about it. Think of other road users. The other person inside the other vehicle may be your family members, or even if they are not your family members, you have to think safety. Your loved ones are waiting for you at home.
You know, in other climes, we get to see when there is a vehicle speeding, they're being followed by forces of the law, and they're stopped, given a ticket and all of that. Okay. We're not seeing that, you know, play out too often when we're talking about people speeding on the road. Are we going to get to a time, as part of recommendation, whereby we get to see when a vehicle is spotted speeding, the FRSC vehicle can go after that person?
Yes, that's to also tell you that we have cameras on our vehicles now, and our men on the road.
Yes, because we see that.
Yes, because, you know, we cannot be pursuing FRSC. We don't pursue. We cannot be pursuing a vehicle that is over speeding. So with the head of the camera, and commercial has invested so much on technology, and that's what we are using now.
Okay.
So with this, coupled with our heightened public enlightenment, we still go to everywhere we can see people. We talk, we appeal to their conscience to think about it, that we are losing lives on the road and it's not acceptable to us at the FRS.
Do you think it's because the fines are not so high? Is that why people take it for granted?
Not really, because we are not really after the fines.
Okay.
Because you can find somebody maybe 10,000, the person can afford the 10,000. That is not the
orientation.
The orientation or the modality or what we are actually looking for. We are looking for attitudinal change. Everybody must change. Positive attitudinal change. So we are not after the money. At times, we don't even give people tickets. We talk to them. We do free safety check. We just advise them.
And from just before I let you go, some respondents from that report said the rigidity of some of the roads are also part of the concerns. What's your take on that?
Yes, we must commend the federal government, because we can see that many roads are going through rehabilitation.
Okay.
So this one is still talking about the motorist. Be careful. Anytime you are going on any road, just be careful. Take it easy. Avoid overspeeding. Avoid overloading. Avoid, you know, some people, they will drink before they go and drive.
Yes.
It's not acceptable. Think of your loved ones. Think of your family members. Think of every other road users. Because what we are saying, you know, only the living celebrates. During the Ember month, you can see a campaign. How we have been talking to people, say, don't overspeed, don't overload. Still, some lives were lost. We are not happy about it. We are looking at a Nigeria whereby everybody will have a reorientation, thinking about positive attitudinal change, because road safety is a shared responsibility. We cannot leave the work for FRSC alone. It has to do with you. It has to do with myself. So it has to do with everybody. We are looking for a Nigeria whereby everybody will have positive attitudinal change.
On the roads.
On the roads.
Thank you very much for your time. Honey Ogundayo, Deputy Co-Commander and Head, National Traffic Radio Abuja. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
All right, we've been talking about road crashes. There's no hurry in life. You want to get there safe? All right, let's turn to other issues. Minister of Transportation will bring that report to you just after this break. Stay tuned.
The vaccine offers hope for a safe country free of coronavirus. I urge all state governments, traditional and religious leaders to take the lead in the mobilization effort within their environment and spheres of influence. I similarly urge all eligible Nigerians to present themselves and be vaccinated in accordance with the order of priority already mapped out at the various authorized designated centers only.
Welcome back. Let's pick up from where we left off. Minister of Transportation Rotimi Amechi has described as impressive the level of work done at the Lekki Deep Seaport. The minister, while on an inspection tour of the seaport project, charged contractors not to relent in order to beat the completion deadline. Let's hear more from Abolade Salami.
With the dredging and reclamation work at almost 90% completion, and the erection of light masts put at 25 meters high to provide constant power, Minister of Transportation Rotimi Amechi said the speed of work should be sustained without any form of compromise to standards. He reminded the contractors that the quay wall and cranes newly constructed, apart from the breakwaters he noticed during his last visit, is a testament of commitment to work. As regards preventing congestion at the Lekki Deep Seaport, the minister instructed the Nigerian Ports Authority to automate process of documentation of all forms of transaction to limit human movement within the port.
Even if it means what you can call is leaving the customs, so that as you walk into customs, you have no access to any part of the system. Correct. Once you walk in, you walk out. No access. And luckily, just like you are automating the seaport, that's where customs should also automate. If you have the customs.
He therefore instructed the Director of Railway in the Ministry of Transportation to conduct a study on the possibility of linking the Lekki port to Lagos-Ibadan Railway. Chief Technical Officer, Lekki Seaport, told the Minister that activities within the premises will be automated, while a section will be provided for physical activities, stressing that the bulk of work will be done online. In Lagos, Abolade Salami, NTA News.
A passenger train from Lagos this Sunday collided with a moving truck belonging to Dangote Company and commercial tricycle along Obasanjo Road in Kano Metropolis. Muhammad Ali reports that no death was reported in the incident.
This is the busy Obasanjo Road in the heart of Kano Metropolis, where rail track passes through to Kano Rail Station. Usually, whenever train approaches the area, flags are raised up to alert motorists to stop. But the case of this truck, as explained by eyewitnesses, was alleged negligence.
Muna waje tun da jirgi ya riga ya to, jirgi yana home, shi kuma mai trailer ya shigo.
We were there when the train approached us and the truck driver did not stop, expecting he would be through. That is how the train crossed the truck and tricycle.
Muna tsaye jirgi ya to daga gandu, a miliyan ya sako jirgin nan.
We were standing when the train came in high speed and didn't stop despite hitting the truck loaded with cement.
Passengers in the tricycle that was caught up in the accident have been rushed to the hospital for medical attention, while the truck driver is still at large. Effort to speak with Kano Railway officials on the matter yield no result. Muhammad Ali, NTA News.
In Damaturu, we hear normalcy has returned to Gashua town, headquarters of Badi local government area in Yobe State, after youth protested over the alleged killing of a truck driver by security agents on routine patrol in the axis. The Emir of Badi, Alhaji Abubakar Umar Suleiman, appeals to the aggrieved youth to remain calm as civil and military authorities investigate the unfortunate incident. Adam Yusuf reports.
The tragic incident occurred Friday evening when security agents allegedly shot dead one Muhammad Turi to death at a filling station in Garin Alkali Bursari local government area. When news of the incident went viral, the youth in Geshua, the hometown of the victim, went on rampage on Saturday, destroying public and private property. A walk around the ancient town of Geshua revealed that the atmosphere is generally calm, with people going about their businesses. While suing for peace, the Emir of Badi, Abubakar Umar Suleiman, called on authorities to investigate the alleged involvement of security agents in the killing.
I call on all to keep calm. Government is doing everything possible within its reach to ensure that justice is done.
Governor Memola Buni, while in the wake of the incident, commiserated with families of the truck driver. He also sued for peace in the move to de-escalate the tense atmosphere. Geshua, among the 10 local government areas in the northern part of Yobe, that the state government recently ordered for the conditional lifting of the ban on the use of motorcycles following improvement of security in the general area. In Damaturu, Adam Yusuf, NTA News.
The people of Bakassi in Cross River State are still living without shelter since the October 2020 EndSARS protest that led to the destruction of their homes. Former Senator Florence Itagiwa is therefore appealing to the federal government to assist the state government in refurbishing the resettlement houses. Odi Alenyo reports.
Bakassi was entirely an area within Nigeria until 2002, when the peninsula was ceded to Cameroon after the Green Tree Agreement, following the International Court of Justice boundary judgment in favor of Cameroon. Since then, Nigeria has been battling with the challenges of resettling the returnees, and recently, Governor Yade built resettlement houses for them. But unfortunately, the EndSARS protesters and hoodlums' destruction of property in Cross River State, the houses were not spared, returning the people to homelessness situation. But now, Senator Florence Itagiwa believes the federal government can assist to give the people a sense of belonging.
The federal government is not obliged to come in, and assist him. And one of the things that we are asking for immediately is the rebuilding and, construction of the refugee camp, the settlement camp that was damaged.
We need total rehabilitation. We need to be compensated for loss of our territory. We need to resettle and rebuild infrastructures in Bakassi that was destroyed by EndSARS. So we have children from the time Bakassi's history started to today. Children who were born within that time, and they are growing up.
They, however, promised to sustain collaboration with Governor Yade to ensure that Bakassi remain an APC local government council area, especially in the coming 2023 general elections. In Calabar, Ode Alenyo, NTA News.
Vice President Professor Yemi Oshibajo this Sunday paid condolence visit to Oyo State to commiserate with the government and the people over the death of the late Olubadan of Ibadan, Oba Saliu Adetunji, late Son of Ogbomoso, Oba Allah Oladuni Oyewumi Ajagungbade III, and late Alau Akalat, a former governor of the state. State House correspondent Jide Onifade reports.
The condolence visit was forced to the ancient city of Ogbomoso, where Vice President Yemi Oshibajo joined the people in a Thanksgiving service at the First Baptist Church, Okeleni, Ogbomoso. The Vice President, who was received by Governor Seyi Makinde of Oyo State on behalf of the President and Nigerians, commiserates with the family and the people of Ogbomoso for the loss of the monarch, late Oladuni Oyewumi Ajagungbade III, Seun of Ogbomoso, who reigned for 48 years before his death on the 2nd of January 2022.
He has delivered 4 decades and 8 years of exceptional and transformational leadership, leaving behind the indelible marks of peace and prosperity. Without doubt, the Oba's passing has created a big vacuum among the League of Traditional Rulers in Nigeria. And this is not just because of his age. In almost half a century on the throne, it's because he was not just there. He made remarkable contributions to Ogbomosho and to Nigeria, for which he was honored twice. First, as Commander of the Order of the Niger, and then as Commander of the Federal Republic, CON and CFR.
After the church service, the Vice President visits the palace of the Shong and interacts with the family and chiefs. Vice President Oshimbaju also visits the home of the Akalas, where he pays glowing tribute to late Alawa Akala, one-time governor of Oyo State, who died on the 12th of January 2022 at the age of 71.
Was so kind, so generous, and so loving, and so that was my first impression of him. But since then, of course, as you know, he was possibly one of the most astute politicians to come out of the Southwest, and indeed he was, of course, as you know, governor in Oyo State. And I think that one thing that will remain evergreen in our memories is the way that he did what he did in Oyo State and all of the work that he did, the contributions he made, and of course also the contributions that he has made to our great party.
At Ibadan, Vice President Yemi Oshimbaju also visits the palace of late Olubadan of Ibadan, Obasa Liu Adetunji, who passed on the 12th of December 2022, and commiserates with the family and the people of the state. Jide Onifade, NTA News.
That's Panorama. Thank you very much for your time. We urge you not to give up in the fight against rape and rapists. I'm Ruth Aguela. Bye.